Hello there, I am Shadow Rose Payton, and I really love Kingdom Hearts. I really wanted to do something for March Caprice this year, but I didn't really know what to do until I remembered that I have a massive makeup stash because I'm a cosplayer, and I thought, what if I made a couple of makeup looks inspired by the the combined Keyblade, starting with Nightmare's End. So that's what I'm gonna do. After prepping my face and turning myself into a 12-year-old boy cosplaying as Voldemort's dead gay son, I start with the eyeshadow, the most important part. Starting with my favorite blue eyeshadow palette ever, Blue Moon by ColourPop. Look at it, it's so pretty. So to start off, I'm going to be using the shade Tide Pool in the inner corner of my eye. It's very important to go slow and take your time. And then I'm actually going to be mixing it with this other shade, Starry Eyed, by putting it over top of Tide Pool so that it lightens it up and I get that nice Caribbean blue color. And for the next color, I'm going to be using the I Heart Revolution Sweet and Tasty eyeshadow palette, particularly this shade called Theater. And we will be putting that on the center of our eyelid, right where the blue stops, and then dragging it out towards the edge. And then we're going to blend those two colors together where they meet until we get a nice gradient effect. And then I'll just be smoking it out a little bit, buffing it out up towards the brow bone. And you should have a little something like this. And now for the eyeliner. This is Chaotic Cosmetics' water-activated eyeliner in the shade Blackout. By far the best eyeliner I've ever had. Also, I am way too scared to do this on camera, so you're just going to get a transition of me doing the eyeliner. However, that's not the end of the eyeliner. Now I'm going to take a fine detail brush and some black eyeshadow and sketch the stained glass section of the Keyblade onto the under part of my eye. In the event that any of you try to replicate this look on that part, please go slow and take your time. Moving on, now I'm going to be using this white Paradise Makeup AQ water-activated face paint to fill in the spaces in between the lines. This is so when we add the color later, it will pop out more against the skin. When you're done, wait until the paint dries and then set it with translucent powder. And now for the fun part, the colors. Going back into the Blue Moon palette, I'll be using Fine China on a couple of sections of the eyes. Do your best to keep the eyeshadow in between the lines and on the white. But, you know, that's kind of hard to do with eyeshadow, so if it looks a little bit messy, don't worry about it, because we're going to draw over the black eyeshadow with black eyeliner, and it'll immediately fix that problem for you. Now for the purple sections, I had to break out the big guns. This is my Fade Into Hue ColourPop eyeshadow palette. Look at how delicious those colors are. I want to eat the glitter. We're going to be using the shade Majestic on the purple sections of our eye. Look at how lovely that is. And when you're done filling in the colors, you should have a little something like this. And now you take your black eyeliner and draw over the black eyeshadow lines to create the stained glass frame. Definitely take your time on this step. And then I'm just going to add some regular contour to my nose, but I'm going to use this shade Daba D from the Blue Moon eyeshadow palette to give myself some unnatural colored contour. And then Lumi from the same palette for a lovely highlight. This is my favorite highlight, and I put it all over my face. My nose, my cheeks. I'm still trying to get good at putting highlighter on my cheeks, okay? Work with me. And then my forehead. And of course, the Cupid's bow. Cannot forget the Cupid's bow. And for my eyebrows, I will be drawing new ones on with this NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil in Milk, because I'll be wearing a white wig. And now for some face glitter. This is also from Fade Into Hue. And I just dab that onto my cheeks with my finger. And now for the finishing touch, some black lipstick. This is my favorite black lipstick of all time from Black Moon Cosmetics in the shade Sleepwalker. Also, I didn't mention this yet, but all of the cosmetics that I use in this video are in fact cruelty-free, in case anybody wanted to know. And now for the final reveal. Oh, look at that. There she is, Miss Nightmare's End. That is the face of a woman who can end your entire career. Look at that. Lovely. I am so happy with how this eyeshadow look came out. I am honestly floored. Also, in case anybody wanted to know, I did make that hair clip myself. And of course, we cannot forget a close-up of the eyeshadow itself. Definitely my most elaborate look to date. I'm so proud of myself. And now, on to Mirage Split. Now this one's gonna be different. because I won't be drawing on new eyebrows, or wearing a wig because Sora and I have a similar hair color. And we're actually going to be starting this eyeshadow look the same way we started Nightmare's End, by mixing together Tide Pool and Starry Eyed, one right on top of the other. It's honestly my favorite part about ColourPop's eyeshadows is that they're so pigmented that you can mix them together. Now this is where it gets different, because Mirage Split has a lot more colors in it, so we're bringing out the Fade into Hue palette again. And now I'm going to take the shade Dyed Up and put that on the center of my eyelid, but not drag it out. Just on the center. And then we're going to blend those two colors together until we get a nice gradient. And now we get crazy. We're going to mix the shade Big Smile and Abstract to create a nice bright yellow and put that on the outer corner of our eye, starting where the green meets and dragging it out, and giving ourselves a nice wing. You should have something like this. And now we're gonna blend the green and the yellow together like our lives depend on it until we get that nice gradient again. And now this is where it gets crazier, as we're gonna be using metallic gold eyeliner. This one is from a black-owned cosmetics brand called Icy Wifey Cosmetics, and this is their Call Me Splash Pot water-activated eyeliner. And guys, when I tell you, it's like I put liquid gold on my eyelid. You know what? I'm just gonna let the transition speak for itself. Look at that. Look at how amazingly it stands out. Ugh. And we're gonna be repeating the same process as last time, sketching out the stained glass section of the Keyblade, but instead of black, use brown so it doesn't muddy the gold eyeliner later. And of course, use white face paint to fill in the sections in between the lines so that the colors stand out better. And now we get to the fun part, filling in the colors. Again, remember to take your time and make sure you try and stay in the lines and on the white. But if it looks a little bit messy, don't worry about it because the eyeliner will fix it later. And you know what? While I'm on the subject, while I'm doing this section here, did you guys know that the combined Keyblade of Mirage Split and Nightmare's End doesn't have a canonical name? Like, I looked it up and it's just the combined Keyblade. Seriously? They couldn't take like 5 minutes to come up with a name? I personally like the name the fandom gave it, which is the Keyblade. I mean, look at it. It's very rainbow. My eyes look like a walking pride flag. And now for the gold. Oh my goodness, look how beautiful that is. Look at the shine. Look how it makes every other color pop out. And now I'm just going to be using some normal contouring, nothing to see really here. But now I'm going to use the shade Lovecraft from Fade into Hue and use it as a subtle blush on my cheeks, as well as the shade Shine Bright to highlight the entirety of my face, because sparkles. And now for the lipstick. This is the newest addition to my collection. This liquid lipstick is from Menagerie Cosmetics in the shade Catfight. And oh my gosh, it is such a beautiful red. I actually had to get this because none of my other lipsticks looked good with this eyeshadow. And now for the final reveal. I also wanted these looks to double as like the Keyblades personified, so I wanted to make sure that Mirage Split was a lot more fun and a little less intimidating than Nightmare's End. And I think I did a pretty good job, don't you think? I absolutely love how this eyeshadow came out. Oh my gosh, I think I like this better than how Nightmare's End came out, honestly. And of course, can't forget the pictures. Or would they technically be considered glamour shots? I don't know. And of course, can't forget the close-up of the eyes. Oh my gosh, so beautiful. So vibrant. And of course, we cannot forget the side-by-side comparisons. I love how they start out with the same color in the corner of the eye and then get vastly different everywhere else. We have to have the full faces of these beauties side by side. These aren't the craziest makeup looks I've ever done, but they were still very intensive and I'm honestly really happy with how they came out. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks to the shadowy organization behind March Caprice for running the event again this year and for letting me be a part of it. And thank you to everyone who watched this, and happy March Caprice, everybody!